In 2007, Oprah Winfrey opened up a boarding school in South Africa. The academy had salons and gyms in it. Allegations have surfaced that this school was a front for child trafficking. These girls would be allegedly groomed to be ready for sale. Oprah handpicked the young girls who attended her school based on physical appearance, but it wasn't long until word got out about what really the school was about. Turns out these young girls were being touched or broken in by one of the employees there to allegedly get them ready for clients. Authorities found out about it, and the employee was charged with 13 counts of getting inappropriate with kids. Turns out at least 6 girls aged 13 to 15 were allegedly systematically and ritualistically targeted.
Feds allegedly revealed that Oprah was influencing kids for Diddy. These girls were being used for child trafficking. Rumors suggest that Diddy used such details to snitch on Oprah for his bail.
We could see music mogul Sean Diddy Combs in court this week for a status hearing. His attorney still working to appeal a judge's ruling denying Diddy bail. Denied it twice last week. The Bad Boy Records founder is being held by himself in a Brooklyn detention center, accused of running an enterprise of sex trafficking and forced labor. During a March raid, we all remember this, authorities discovered drugs, AR-15s, and an excessive amount of baby oil and lubricant inside of his home.
The life of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has taken an unexpected turn. Facing serious allegations of trafficking and forced labor, Combs finds himself inside a Brooklyn detention center. But what does life look like for one of the world's biggest celebrities behind bars?
According to the source, she paid $75 million for the footage of Combs raping an underage Bieber and Aaron Carter, among other child stars. Under the comments of the video, many online users were asking for evidence for these wild allegations.
Hollywood pimp Oprah Winfrey paid $75 million to purchase sex tapes of Sean Diddy Combs raping an underage Justin Bieber. Oprah has been hiding in plain sight for decades, using the media to shield her from the truth.
Online sources suggest that Oprah's sudden departure has raised red flags, prompting the FBI to start an investigation.
Oprah has to leave. Yeah, so she was going anyway. Don't be greedy. But, I mean, this is like just a moment where we get to hang out. I know you're dying, so we'll do this. 2 questions. I'll take one from this side of the audience and one from that side. Something you've always wanted to ask. Don't ask her what her favorite color is. Think for a moment. I'll ask her one question first, just to get us on the, so you can think for a little bit. Just one from this side, one from that side.
This is
your
the
best
behind
question.
the scenes thing you do, right?
Oh, this is between the scenes.
Between the scenes.
We'll just hang out and do it.
Okay,
This is like your, it's funny, I didn't know you talk to your audience.
Yes.
Yes, this is me. I just hang out with the real people.
Isn't that cool?
I love it. So are you kidding me?
I love it.
I wanted to know one thing. You are Oprah Winfrey. You have been very wealthy for a long time. You've worked hard to get there. I often wonder how much normalcy there still is in your life. Like, how many normal random things happen to you? Like, when was the last time your phone ran out of battery while you were speaking? Does that ever happen to you?
No.
Okay. Like never, so for instance, has there ever been a moment where you're in the bathroom and then the toilet roll is done? No.
Oh.
Just days after the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, rumors began swirling that Oprah might be involved in something far darker than anyone had imagined. Oprah, beloved by millions, has denied the accusations, claiming they are baseless. However, her abrupt exit raises many questions.
Former inmate and director and founder of Wall Street Prison Consultants, Larry Levine, joins me now. Larry, welcome to the show. Thanks for being with me.
Glad to be with you.
So this jail's conditions, have been described as dirty, notorious for mice, maggots, inmate violence, power outages. I mean, you spent 10 years in 11 different facilities, so you know what life is like for him right now. Take us behind the scenes.
I was also at MDC Los Angeles. It's like a cookie cutter.
Diddy is currently being held in isolation in what's known as the SHU, or Special Housing Unit. According to former inmate Larry Levine, who's been through the system, Diddy's life right now is filled with anxiety and loneliness. Levine reveals that inmates in the SHU face harsh conditions and, though isolated, are often kept under suicide watch. Even basic privileges like showering are limited to just 3 times a week.
Of the MDC in New York. So yeah, I do know. But he's sitting in the SHU. He's in the hole. And this guy is going through loneliness, anxiety, desperation. He's on suicide watch, and they hand out like psych meds, like they're M&Ms to these inmates to try to get them to cope with what's going on. So his entire existence is to sit in this little cell, essentially.
Reports have circulated about Diddy living a somewhat comfortable life in jail, even supposedly enjoying ribeye steaks from the commissary.
He's not getting any real visits. If his lawyer does a legal visit, they have to come upstairs into the special housing unit to see him. Now, have you seen these reports about all these commissary items they say that he could buy? Any of those?
What was one of them? Steak or something?
Ribeye, steak,
Yeah.
I mean, all kinds of nonsense. He's in the shoe, people. He's in a special housing unit.
Levine says it's unlikely, as celebrities accused of crimes involving women or children face extreme risks. Other inmates, especially those with violent tendencies, would likely target him, putting his life in serious danger. Instead, he will remain in isolation, where at least physical threats are minimized.
He cannot buy things off the regular commissary list.
So this is rocking his world right
He
now.
can buy a radio.
Yeah, this is rocking his world right now. What about treatment from other inmates, Larry? I'm curious in that too, because we know that they don't take kindly to those who are accused of hurting women or children. They're not minors that we know of. But if he makes it to general population, how's he treated?
Look, if he makes it to GP, general population, someone's going to stick a knife in him.
And what if Diddy is convicted? His legal battle could take up to 4 years, and if he loses, he won't be heading to a cushy minimum security facility. Instead, he'll end up in a medium security prison, still isolated from the general population.
Have you ever wondered why and how Oprah became a billionaire? Oprah convinced 30 million women and about 1 million men that she was their best friend. And every afternoon, those 31 million people would tune in to their best friend. Oprah converted the likability factor into money.
Here, Oprah used the likability factor to generate money, and that's how she became a billionaire.
They're going to put some bars of soap in a sock and boom, they're going to pop him over the head and split his head open like a watermelon. They cannot GP him at all. There's a better chance of Jesus appearing in front of us right now than him making general population. He's safe where he is at. There's no reason to move him. And this nonsense about him getting bail, they're never going to give him bail. He wants to go to Essex County, New Jersey, to go to a cushy jail there.
It's hard to imagine a man who once never wore the same clothes twice, now wearing the same prison uniform every day. His defense team is pushing for a speedy trial, with a tentative date set for May 2025, but the government continues its investigation, and new charges could still emerge, further complicating his path ahead.
Names involved will shock you. Now, for the last several weeks, online users would attempt to implicate Jay-Z and Beyonce as the next celebrities to be named in these harmful cases. Singer Jaguar Wright would recently appear in an interview with Piers Morgan on his YouTube channel, where she alleged Jay-Z and Beyonce have hundreds of victims. Morgan would eventually be forced to apologize for the false claims about the couple after he received a cease and desist letter.
The FBI's interest in Oprah stems from explosive claims involving allegations that have taken social media by storm. Just last week, whispers began to circulate online, implicating the talk show icon in connection with a disturbing and highly secretive scandal involving Diddy and other high-profile figures.
Oprah Winfrey denies arrest rumors. Yes, media mogul Oprah Winfrey has come out to deny rumors that her home was raided and she was arrested. According to reports that were making the rounds, her house in Florida was raided and she was arrested along with other celebrities for sex trafficking. Reacting to the news, Oprah put out a tweet to debunk the rumor. She tweeted, and I'm quoting, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending. I'm being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. haven't been raided or arrested, just sanitizing and self-distancing with the rest of the world. Stay safe, everybody.
Here, Oprah got raided, and it was found that she has been involved in trafficking. However, she denies saying that I got a phone call, and these are all fake things against me. Further, she says that I'm distancing myself from the rest of the world,
where they threaten to take legal action. After apologizing, Morgan with State Rights' interview was edited in order to remove her claims. Now, aside from Jay-Z and Beyonce, people have brought up Oprah Winfrey's name as another who might be connected to Combs, causing people to wonder if Black wealth is under attack. Twitter user TPV Sean would accuse Winfrey of buying a Diddy tape of an underage Justin Bieber being raped.
What's really got people talking are the wild accusations involving Oprah, including allegations that she spent millions to cover up unspeakable acts. While some Twitter users and social media conspiracy theorists have added fuel to the fire, the real shock came when news broke that Oprah had reportedly left the country shortly after Diddy's arrest.
Earlier today, we reported to you that Piers Morgan decided to take down parts of his interview with Jaguar Wright, where she talked about and referred to Beyonce and Jay-Z as monsters and alleged that these two have held people against their own will. In a statement from Beyonce's attorneys, they said that these statements from Jaguar Wright were completely untrue and false.
In a bold statement, Beyonce's attorney clarified that Jaguar Wright's accusations, particularly those claiming the Carters were involved in monstrous behavior, were not only false, but dangerously misleading.
So these videos of Diddy with Justin Bieber when he was only 15 years old are resurfacing, and the one thing that I want to ask is, why was a 40-year-old hanging around with a 15-year-old? Why did no one think that was an issue or a red flag? And also, listen to what he says in this clip.
They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed the usher. I had legal guardianship.
Diddy with 15-year-old Justin Bieber raises a question that what a 40-year-old is doing with a 15-year-old. It's a big red flag for the viewers.
There was a lot going on. And then there's people that thought that Puffy was involved and Suge Knight was involved.
Speaking of, I think Suge Knight's the one who said that thing I just thought of.
What thing?
About that they were there to delete stuff.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said? Luke from 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, he said he was to leave early.
Yeah.
In a strange twist, it's being alleged that Oprah had insider knowledge of this underground scandal, leading her to escape the country just in time. If these claims hold any weight, her connection to Diddy's darker dealings could be far more entangled than anyone ever thought. This all sounds like the plot of a blockbuster movie, but in today's world, these theories have people hooked.
When Luke from 2 Live Crew is leaving early, like, you got a wild party. If what's happening is too fucked up for Luke from 2 Live Crew, like, check please. There's so many different stories. Who knows?
What are you gonna do?
I'm not doing that.
We're not involved in them. I was never at Diddy's party. I don't even know the motherfucker.
We're out
I
here.
don't want to know nobody.
As for the FBI, their investigation appears to be gaining momentum, with many speculating that they are building a case not just against Diddy, but anyone who may have been caught in his web.
Telling jokes.
Like I told you.
Having fun.
That's it.
Yeah.
Smoking dope, cracking jokes, making people.
That's
everything
it.
else is background music. And living in LA, you have all this shit that's going on around you. That's what you have your life, and then you have all this shit that goes in and out of your ears all fucking day, and you're like, I just want to do stand-up.
You also have those celebrity environments where celebrities all get together, and there's so many of them, in these wild parties. And if you got a wild party...
People are buzzing about the potential ramifications if these allegations are confirmed. Oprah, a media icon known for her philanthropy and moral leadership, could find herself at the center of one of the biggest scandals in recent memory.
And P. Diddy puts on that wild party. and he sets everybody up. Like if you were an intelligence agent, like a Jeffrey Epstein type deal, that'd be the way to do it. Big old crazy party, get everybody loose,
and get the cameras
get them
rolling.
the yayo, get them the yayo,
and everything else.
Get them everything you need. Get fired up. Get those cameras rolling, and now you got everybody under wraps. What a twisted web some folks weave. You all right over there?
Yeah.
You gotta concentrate.
In this case, the excitement over the drama has taken on a life of its own. It seems we're living in a time where the lines between fact and fiction are blurrier than ever.
Before he spills even more tea, Shannon recently sat down for an interview and dished out all the gossip about the celebrities trying to shut down his show and sabotage him. They're even sending him threats. Those stars who were eager to be on the show, they disappeared into thin air. Now, everybody knows that the industry is chaotic, but these people are going to extremes with Shannon. Word on the streets is that Shannon's life could be in danger because the haters are in full swing.
I didn't know it was gonna cause this.
After Monique exposed Oprah, it was clear that Oprah doesn't take well to public challenges. Now, with Shannon's testimony, her attempts to keep everything under control seem to be spiraling out of hand.
Kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember,
in the same interview, Shannon talked about all the crazy stuff he's been dealing with since Cat Williams' interview went viral earlier this year. He had a conversation with Cam Newton and shared why celebrities are comfortable enough to spill all their secrets on his podcast.
As Shannon himself said in a recent interview, "I didn't expect this kind of ripple effect, but I understand what comes with speaking the truth." Now, we're all waiting to see just how far Oprah and Diddy will go to protect their secrets.
And Shannon explained that before every interview, he makes it clear to his celebrity guests that they don't have to talk about certain topics if they don't want to, which makes them comfortable enough to tell their own story.
I said, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? I always ask the guests that. Sometimes they say, well, I would appreciate if we not talk about this. Right. Cool, no problem. Because I believe you can tell your story without saying something negative. But yes, I believe a person that's been in a business, that's been doing something 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
One thing's for sure, Shannon Sharpe isn't backing down. His platform has grown stronger than ever, and his willingness to share the truth, even when powerful figures like Oprah and Diddy are trying to stop him, has only increased his following.
We laugh and giggle about, oh, let's get alcohol, let's get drugs, let's get all these ladies at a party. For years, P. Diddy's gotten a hall pass. He's actually created his own kingdom where he makes his own rules, and you got to follow his rules or you get penalized. And guess what, Laura? He's now in a federal penitentiary, and for the first time in his life, he's facing his own fate at the hands of somebody else. And I will tell you, Laura, I've done federal cases.
Sources suggest that Oprah, a longtime associate of Diddy, may have provided crucial evidence to authorities. The very same Oprah, who's built a reputation as America's most beloved talk show host, is now rumored to be distancing herself from Diddy, much like she did with other high-profile figures like Harvey Weinstein and John of God. Here you can see the leaked video from Diddy's party.
90% of federal criminal indictments brought down are pled out, right? A plea deal is brought. And of the only 10% left, 90% of those defendants that go to trial, they lose. So he is looking at a daunting uphill battle to fight these horrible charges.
Now, Brian, one of the DHS agents involved in this raid on his Miami mansion described what he saw inside the house, saying that
for years, Diddy has operated with seemingly untouchable power, but after Oprah's testimony, things started unraveling. The feds, who had been watching Diddy for years, finally pounced, raiding his properties and seizing evidence that may connect him to heinous crimes.
In my opinion, he's as bad as Epstein. These women are young, either barely legal or barely illegal. Brian, this sounds like he was a monster.
Yeah, Laura, I will tell you that this indictment was very detailed, by the way, too. Your viewers should know there were over 300 subpoenas served, over 50 witnesses interviewed. Why is that important?
Insiders claim that she shed light on Diddy's alleged coercive tactics at his infamous freak-off parties, where women were reportedly drugged and controlled.
And that's really what the prosecutors got to prove. And if you've got some victims coming forward to talk about that, you've got financial records that prove that, travel itinerary that proves that, P. Diddy has very little defense. And I got to tell you, Laura, if this guy wants to fight these charges, he's going to have to step up and walk into a courtroom and talk about it. If he doesn't testify in this case, he is dead on arrival.
Well, who else is on these tapes? I mean, will the tapes ever see the light of day?
DHS agents compared Diddy's Miami mansion to Jeffrey Epstein's private island, describing what they found inside as monstrous. Young women, some barely legal, were reportedly coerced into these wild parties.
90% of federal criminal indictments brought down are pled out, right? A plea deal is brought. And of the only 10% left, 90% of those defendants that go to trial, they lose. So he is looking at a daunting uphill battle to fight these horrible charges.
The indictment is serious, with over 300 subpoenas issued and more than 50 witnesses interviewed. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll catch you next time.